talk about my experience with my menstrual cup, and the one that I decided to use was the Blossom cup. I purchased this cup off of Amazon. I think it was about $14 or $15, and I was just super excited to use it after I got it. But I read on the blog somewhere that said you should only use your menstrual cup on your cycle. Like, don't practice with it before your cycle. And that, I think, was a hindrance to me, because I'm the type of person, I plan out everything. I practice. I do test runs, like, because when it's go time, I need to be ready to go. I need to know what I'm doing. Like, I need to have known and done this before. Okay, so like I said, I tried it out my first day of my cycle, and I swear it took me an additional like 45 minutes to just like get comfortable with this thing. I was putting it in, taking it out, rotating it, doing this, doing that. It was uncomfortable, not because like of the feeling, but uncomfortable as in, like, I don't feel secure. Like, I don't feel like I can walk out my house with just this and be ready to go for the day. And so I felt like I got it together. I went to work, and then I spent an additional like 20 minutes at work trying to just like figure it out. So my first day, I eventually just ended up taking it out, going back to other methods, because it just wasn't working. It wasn't working. Like, I felt like a big gush. Like, you know, like when you've been stationary for a long time, and then you get up and you just feel that, you know, you feel gravity working, and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I didn't have any leakage, but I just wasn't comfortable. Like, I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't be running to the bathroom every 5 seconds at work. All right, so now it's the end of day one, and I'm home, and I'm like, we're gonna try this one more time, Taylor, one more time. We're gonna insert the cup, and we're gonna like lay in the bed, go to sleep, and wake up in the morning. And you know, if it works for you, then we can probably try it out in the daytime. So I'm sleeping, but I can feel my cup just like sliding down. And I'm like, no, like, I should not be able to feel this. Just like, you know, when you use a tampon or something else, you really don't feel it. You shouldn't be able to feel it. And I'm like, I feel this. So my cup like slid down, and I read that sometimes your menstrual cup will slide down if it's full, but it wasn't full. It just slid down. It probably didn't have a seal. And that's important. When you insert your menstrual cup, it needs to have a seal. When you insert it, tip number one, when you insert it, try to like rotate your finger around it to make sure it's fully expanded, which will help with the seal. So the end of day one, it still wasn't working for me. I had to take it out, and I said we're gonna try again for day two. All right, so day two comes, and I don't use my menstrual cup. I didn't have time for the stress. I didn't have time for the stress on day two, y'all. But let me tell you something. My mother, she didn't raise a quitter. So I'm like, I still have to try this thing out. So for day two, I did a lot of research. Like, I'm reading blogs, websites, learning other people's opinions, tips and tricks and things like that. And I read that, you know, try inserting your menstrual cup in the shower. I'm like, okay, I could do that. I could do that. Like, who doesn't take a shower every day? I can try that. So day two, I'm in the shower. I insert my menstrual cup, and it goes in sideways. Listen sideways. And what I mean by that is, so your menstrual cup is in like this, and I'm trying to push my cup, but when I push it, it goes like that, and I can feel it. I'm like, oh my God, this thing is sideways. I felt it suction to the side of whatever. It's suction there. Doesn't hurt, but it's like uncomfortable. Like, now how am I gonna get this thing out? Like, because it's like this, and this thing is poked over here. This is like this, and I'm supposed to be able to pull it, and it suctions. So it's like a suction here, and then you can't pull it from here because it's suction. So what I had to do was bear down. You bear down like you're in the process of having a bowel movement, or you bear down like, I guess if you ever pushed out a baby, you bear down like that, and it pushes your menstrual cup down. And I was able to like grip it like this, and then like slide it, pull it, slide it. It actually came out breech, like a baby. It came out breech like that. So and I think the reason that was because of this thing here. This thing here. I can't push it up like this. You see, when I try to push it up like this, it goes sideways. If it didn't have that stem there, I feel like I could just push up like the other menstrual cups, and I wouldn't have to worry about it going sideways or any other type of way other than up. Do I feel like this little stem is helpful? Not particularly. And if I do invest in another menstrual cup, which I might try this out like one or two more times, I'll get one without the stem. Okay, so after we done put the menstrual cup in sideways and it came out upside down and we did all that, I decided that I'm not a quitter again, and I reinserted the menstrual cup that evening, wore it to sleep, woke up in the morning, emptied out the contents, rinsed out the cup. You don't have to boil your cup every time you use it. Just like clean it. If you're home in your personal bathroom, you can wash it with soap. You can wash it in the house. Wash it, rinse it, whatever you do. Reinsert it, and I wore it for a couple hours the next day, not as long as I usually do, but because it was just a hot day and I was uncomfortable and I wasn't really trying to wear that. I'm sorry. Yes, so for the end of my cycle, I ended up continuing to use a tampon because my cycle is only about 3 or 4 days long and it's not very heavy at all, which would be the perfect reason to use a menstrual cup. But next time, we're gonna do it next time. But if you have any questions about using menstrual cups, you can leave them down below. Please visit my website. This was not an instructional video. This was an experience video. I have tips and tricks and all that good stuff, the types of folds you can do. All of that is on my website, which is down below. So please visit that, and I hope to see you again soon. Later.